A program that convert a high-level language program to a set of instructions that can run on a computer is called a compiler, debugger, editor. None of the above. The part of a machine-level instruction, which tells the central processor what has to be done, is an operation code, an address, an operand. None of the above. A program which translate a high-level language code into a machine language code is called compiler. Interpreters. Both compiler and interpreter. None of the above. Which of the following is not true about an interpreter? Interpreter generates an object program from the source program. Interpreter is a kind of translator. Interpreter analysis each source statement every time it is to be executed. None of the above. Which type of errors flagged by compilers? Logical errors. Syntax errors. Both logical and syntax errors. None of these. If we overcome the rules of the programming language, we get runtime error, syntax error, logical error. None of the above. Correcting the program code, testing, syntax error, runtime error, debugging. Designing the problem in known as testing, debugging, logical error, algorithm. A computer program that manages and controls a computer's activity. Interpreter, modem, compiler, operating system. The process of finding errors in code is called as compiling, running, testing, debugging. Which of the following language is understood by computer? Machine language, assembly language, high-level language. None of the above. Testing is known as a stage of all projects. Finding broken code, evaluating deliverable to find errors. None of the above. Which of the following executes the programming code line by line? Compiler, interpreter, executor, translator. The brain of computer system is RAM, CPU, ROM, control unit. It refers to the ability of an application to run on different platforms with or without minimal changes. Error, flexibility, portability, reliability. Which of the following carries out the instructions defined in the interface? Operating system, compiler, implementation, interpreter. Error does not fall into any category. Syntax error, runtime error, value error. None of these. Blank reports all error with line numbers and produce faster object code than interpreter. Compiler, assembler, translator. None of these. Users write the programs in which language? Low-level language, high-level language, middle-level language. None of these. Function of a compiler is to put together the file and functions that are required by the program, translate the instructions into a form suitable for execution by the program, load the executable code into the memory and execute them, allow the user to type the program. Identify the correct sequence of steps to run a program. Link, load, code, compile, and execute. Code, compile, link, execute and load. Code, compile, link, load and execute. Compile, code, link, load, and execute. The meaning of bug is a difficult syntax error in a program, logical error in a program, both A and B, all of the above. The program must be able to handle unexpected situation like wrong input or no input. Error, expression, portability, reliability. Which translator is used to convert assembly language into machine language? Compiler, interpreter, assembler. None of these. Debugging is the process of fixing a blank in the software, procedure, function, bug. None of these. An algorithm is best described as a computer language, a step-by-step procedure for solving a problem, a branch of mathematics. None of the above. Algorithm when translated into a programming language is called flowchart, identifier, code, debugging. What is the symbol used to represent start and stop of a flowchart? Oval, rectangle, arrow, diamond. What are the three different types of algorithm constructions? Input, output, decision, repeat. Input, output, process. Loop, input, output, process. Sequence, selection, repeat. Algorithms cannot be represented by blank pseudocodes, syntax, flowcharts, programs. A detailed flowchart is known as micro, union, macro, stack. A sequence of instruction, in a computer language, to get the desired result is known as blank. An algorithm, a decision table, a program. None of the above. The word comes from the name of a Persian mathematician Abu Ja'far Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi is called blank. Flowchart, flow, algorithm, syntax. The complexity of linear search algorithm is O(n), O log n, O n2, O n log n. Connectors used to connect flowchart symbols to each other are classified as arrow lines, symbols, annotation, special symbols. The symbol used for both input and output is a blank. Parallelogram, diamond shape, circle shape. None of the above. The symbol used for conditional statement in a flowchart is a blank. Diamond box, rectangular box, circle shape. None of the above. A graphical representation of a computer program in relation to its sequence of functions is blank. Algorithm, flowchart, both of the above. None of these. Underscore 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 an explicit set of step-by-step specific instructions that solve a problem with an end or a solution. Flowchart, algorithm, process. None of these. In computer science, blank refers to a special method usable by a computer for the solution to a problem. Algorithm, program, graph. None of these. Blank symbols are used to connect one box of flowchart to another. Flow lines, circle, diamond. None of the above. Blank Design approach starts by dividing the complex algorithm into one or more modules. Top-down, down-top, both of the above, none of the above. The blank symbol is always the first and the last symbol in the flowchart. Rectangle, terminal, diamond, none of these. The blank provides pictorial representation of given problem. Algorithm, flowchart, pseudocode, all of these. Blank is a procedure or step-by-step process for solving a problem. Algorithm, flowchart, pseudocode, all of these. The blank symbol is used at the beginning of a flowchart. Oval or pill shape, rectangle, diamond, none of these. Which one is the type of algorithm? Flowchart, pseudo, greedy, connector. Advantage of using flowcharts are effective analysis, proper documentation, efficient coding, all of the above. Actual instructions in flowcharting are represented in blank boxes, circles, arrows, all of the above. The correctness and appropriateness of blank solution can be checked very easily. Algorithmic, heuristic, random, none of these. Other name of pseudocode is false code, representation of code, both A and B, none of these. Tool, blank, is used for program design. Flowchart, pseudocode, algorithm, all of the above. Two main measures for the efficiency of an algorithm are processor and memory, complexity and capacity, time and space, data and space. Set of statements is executed based upon conditional test. Looping, selective, sequence, none. Set of statements is executed again and again based upon conditional test. Looping, selective, sequence, none. In a flowchart, a calculation process is represented by a rectangle, a rhombus, a parallelogram, a circle. In flowchart, parallelogram is used to show general input symbol, operation on data, online use of keyboard, output data screen. What is an algorithm? A flowchart, step-by-step instructions used to solve a problem. A flowchart or pseudocode. A decision. Diagram that represents steps or operations involved in any kind of process is called system diagram, management hierarchy, flowcharts, convenience diagrams. Part of an algorithm which is repeated for fixed number of times is classified as iteration, selection, sequence, reverse action. When an algorithm is written in the form of a programming language, it becomes a flowchart, program, pseudocode, syntax. What will be the output of the following pseudocode? Declare integer a, b set a equals 9 set b equals 5 set a equals a mod a3 set b equals b mod b3 print a plus b. 4, 5, 9, 8. Flowchart and algorithms are used for better programming, easy testing and debugging, efficient coding, all. The process of drawing a flowchart for an algorithm is called performance, algorithmic representation, evaluation, flowcharting. The way for solving a problem step by step is known as design, planning, algorithm, execution. In a flowchart, which of the following is used to test the condition? Terminal, process, input, output, decision. For performing the addition of two numbers, which of the following symbol in a flowchart are used? Control flow, terminal, processing, decision. Which of the following is not a control structure? Loop, process, decision. None of these. The connector symbol for flowchart is circle, parallelogram, diamond, all the above.